Hello and welcome to the July 2024 edition of SPS Global Insights Report, intended to inform you of critical incidents around the world relating to kidnap, ransom, extortion and piracy. Starting in Ecuador, in January 2024, the security environment was shaken by an explosion of criminal violence after the escape of several powerful gang leaders from prison. President Daniel Noboa imposed a nationwide state of emergency and curfews, allowing him to deploy the military and suspend some personal rights. Between January and March, this led to a 28% decline in the homicide rate. However, extortions and kidnappings increased. Extortion cases doubled compared with the same period in 2023, while several high-profile kidnappings were also recorded. This included the notable abduction of 11 local tourists near Manabí in March. 5 of the victims were executed, while the other 6, including 5 minors, were released by the perpetrators, who police suspect had mistaken the families for gang rivals. Manabí and areas near Guayaquil have been particularly fraught with KRE crimes. Since the beginning of May, President Noboa has now shifted his state of emergency to become more localized around coastal areas, including Manabí. However, it remains unclear whether Noboa's hardline approach to combating the gangs will have its desired long-term effect. Moving to the Middle East, Lebanon faces escalating security challenges amid ongoing economic turmoil and heightened tensions with Israel. Despite police data claiming a 22% decline in homicides throughout 2023 and overall decreases in crime rates, organised crime continues to be driven by state-connected actors who engage in underreported criminal activities, including extortion rackets. Lebanon's current kidnap crimes remain peripheral, yet consistently high crime rates exacerbated by the country's economic woes have the potential to escalate criminal activities, including kidnapping for ransom. Meanwhile, the potential for conflict with Israel brings the prospect of greater risk to foreign nationals. In such a conflict scenario, the threat of political kidnapping will increase, likely in a similar fashion to that practiced by Hamas in Gaza. Hezbollah and its affiliates may attempt to deploy similar tactics in frontline regions, placing foreign nationals and servicemen at an elevated threat. Hezbollah have a history of such tactics in periods of conflict. Additionally, rising tensions have exacerbated sectarian divides. In a recent incident, a Christian Lebanese forces coordinator, an opposition to Hezbollah, was kidnapped and killed by armed Syrian assailants. That incident underscored the expanding threat of sectarian violence in Lebanon, with reprisal attacks on Syrian refugees in the attack's aftermath. Geopolitical tensions around the world also continue to fuel high levels of state-level unlawful detainment. In the Middle East, the conflict in Israel has led to the kidnapping of Israelis and the unlawful detainment of thousands of Palestinian citizens. In the occupied Palestinian territories, 1 in every 5 Palestinians has been arrested and charged at some point, demonstrating how conflicts can fuel waves of unrest. Meanwhile, mounting tensions between the US, Europe, Russia and China drive uncertainty and animosity. The detainment and recent trial of Evan Gershkovich in Russia is indicative of the threat to international journalists there, while in China, the expansion of state security laws led to the harassment of international businesses and the detainment of multiple foreign businessmen throughout the last 12 months. New regulations now allow China's Coast Guard to detain foreign nationals in disputed waters for up to 60 days, raising fears of increased detainments in the South China Sea. Concurrently, across Africa and Latin America, the unlawful detainment of government critics continues unabated as a strategy of governance. 17 years of declining democratic freedom place the world at risk of increasing pressures from unlawful detainments, with domestic security and espionage laws increasingly used to clamp down on dissent. We hope our SPS Global Insights report has been of value and urge you to read the full report for a comprehensive overview of the SPS Kidnapping, Piracy and Ransom Bulletin. Stay tuned for next month's edition.